Hi, this is Mr. Philip, another math video. This one is once again featuring a strategy for three-digit addition. Now this strategy has been termed by the program we're using as the friendly number strategy. But in reality, it's pretty much just you taking what most adults, most parents and teachers do, and kind of turning it into a actual process on the paper. What I mean is, when most adults do addition like this, they will, in their brain, change the numbers around to make it easier to add. So what we're going to do today is we're going to actually kind of model that strategy on the paper. So first things first, let's go ahead and do our RDW process, or read, draw, model, and write process. Read the problem first. It says solve, so that's my action, using a strategy. In this case, I'll be using the friendly number strategy. And my two add-ins here are 247 and 152. So 247 plus 152. So I can cross off my read now. Okay, now for friendly number strategy, you have to have a good awareness, a good numerical awareness. You have to know what tens or hundreds a number is close to and be able to change your add-ins to that 10 or 100. So let me go ahead and show you what I mean by that. So I'm looking at these two values here. 247, well, that's close to 250, which is an easier number to work with than 247. 152, well, that's closer to 150, which is an easier number to add and work with than 152. For these purposes today, I think I'm going to go ahead and change 152 and 250. So to do that, I'm going to subtract 2 from it, which will turn this into 150. But we have a problem. Since I changed this number by subtracting 2, I have to make a change to this number as well. Basically, this 2 that I took away needs to go to this number over here. Because if I take 2 away from this add-in, I have to increase this add-in by 2 to kind of even things out. So I'm going to go ahead and add 2 over here to balance out the fact that I took 2 away from there. To give you a quick visual example of it, let's say I have a group of 7 over here and a group of 2 over here. That means that I have 9 in total. If I want to keep these two groups as 9 in total, if I take 2 away from this, I've got to add those 2 over here. So now I have 9 in total again. So basically, you're just balancing out your 2 add-ins to kind of keep the result of the sum the same. So I'm going to add 2 to this side, and I'm going to end up with 249. Now, the neat thing about the friendly number strategy is that you can just stop right there. You could probably do this addition in your brain without writing it on the paper. But if you absolutely want to, you can take one more step in the process. You can actually find a friendly 100 that you can change the numbers into. So for example, looking at 150, well, 100 is pretty close to 150. I could change this to 100 if I wanted to. On this side, 249, well, that's close to 200. If I took away 49, I would have it as 200. So just to model that part of the process, I'm going to go ahead and change my 150 into 100 by taking away 50. So when I do that, this add-in now becomes 100. And like I said for the previous step, that 50 has to go somewhere. So if I'm taking it away from 150, I've got to give it or add it to 249. So this becomes 299. Now I can very easily do this last addition step in my head. 299 plus 100, well, that's going to be 399. So my sum is 399. So I can cross my draw model, and I can do my W now. The sum is 399. Okay, now since this is a bit of a tricky process, I'm going to go ahead and do one more example. So let's go ahead and set up another one, and we'll kind of show it to you again. So for number 2, let's do 147 increased by 313. Do my RDW. I've already read my 2 add-ins, so I can cross off the R. Okay, now I'm going to look at the numbers. I'm going to think, okay, which 10 are these add-ins near? So 147 is close to 150. 313 is close to 310. Since I like working with 50s better than just 10s, I'll go ahead and change this one to 150. So to do that, you're going to add 3, because 150 is 3 steps away from 147. Okay, since I'm increasing this one by 3, I need to reduce this one by 3 to balance it out. Since I'm adding 3 here, it's got to come from somewhere. It can't come from outer space. It has to come from the other addend. So on this side, I'm going to go ahead and subtract 3. So this will be 310 now. So my new addition problem is 150 plus 310. Now, if you're really good at mental mathematics, you could add right here and find your sum. But I can also find the nearest friendly hundred now. So looking at these two, I can make this one go down to 300. I can make this one either go down to 100 or up to 200. I think it's easier to turn 310 into just 300. So I'm going to go ahead and take away 10. And when I do that, I get 300. Now, since I'm reducing this one by 10, to keep my sum the same, I have to increase this one by 10. So I'm going to add 10 to 150. When I do that, I end up with 160. Okay, now I can just do the addition in my brain. 300 plus 160, well, 300 plus 100 is 400, 60 more. The sum here is going to be 460. Cross off my draw model, and I can write my answer. Now, like I said at the beginning, friendly number is a bit tricky, but in all honesty, when adults do these types of calculations, they're doing this process in their head. They're not adding 7 and 3 together. They're kind of getting it to a nearest friendly number so they can do it mentally in their brain. So while it might be tricky at first, if you want to kind of add like adults do or like older people do, this is a strategy you should practice and try out. But ultimately, friendly number or place value, the one you use, should be the one you're most comfortable with. So don't force it. Use what actually helps you solve the problem. All right, that's it for today.